Top 10 Most Hated Countries in the World. The following is a list of 10 countries that are in no particular order. Being number 1 doesn't necessarily mean that the country listed is the most hated country in the world. In addition, the following countries are the results of various surveys online done by real people while also looking at the history of each country. Russia. Anybody who pays attention to the news could probably have guessed that Russia would land on the list of the most hated countries worldwide. It is primarily hated by the members of the Soviet Union for its attempt to control and overpower neighboring countries. Russia and Ukraine have a long-standing enmity because of Russia's attempts of annexing the land. Saudi Arabia. This oil-rich country is ruled by an authoritarian, dictatorial government whose policies are based upon a strict, violent, and misogynistic interpretation of Muslim doctrine. Human rights and especially female rights are notably repressed in Saudi Arabia. The austere Wahhabi form of Islam has shaped Saudi Arabia's culture, and the conservative religious kingdom only recently declared that it would allow women to drive. But Saudi Arabia still oppresses women in many other ways. China. China is similar to Russia in that they're ruled by an authoritative regime. If anything, they're even more controlling and oppressive. For starters, the government controls a number of businesses, which leads to corruption. Not only that, but forced labor is also a huge issue. They've also refused to grant independence to Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau, despite numerous protests. In fact, human rights are routinely suppressed in the country to the point where individuals can be put into prison for shouting protest slogans. North Korea. North Korea is known for its authoritative government, which regularly oppresses its own citizens. The country is also ruled by Kim Jong-un, a third-generation dictator who has an extreme lack of empathy and regularly displays exploitative behavior toward others. Those who live in the country suffer from restricted freedom as the internet access is even heavily censored, poor infrastructure and low standards of living for the sake of the nuclear weapons. It threatens the world with nuclear war, is known for its aggressive attitude towards the neighboring countries. Pakistan. Pakistan is one of only a few countries in the Middle East to have nuclear weapons. For this reason, the country has become a haven for terrorists with many groups such as Al-Qaeda and the Taliban participating in bombings that kill thousands of civilians every year. Given that, it's not surprising to know that many Pakistanis live in fear of terrorist activity. Israel. This nation has a long and complex history. But the conflict that currently impacts the world's view of Israel is its conflict with Palestine. As Vox explains, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is over who gets what land and how it's controlled. Palestinians, the Arab population that hails from the land Israel now controls, want to establish a state on that land. Iran. Iran is similar to Israel and Pakistan in that those who hate the country cite its tendency to clash with other countries with opposing religions as a major factor. Not only that, but they also have a huge list of human rights violations. For one thing, the government often takes extrajudicial actions such as the rape, torture, and killing of political prisoners. It's also not uncommon for there to be beatings and killings of civilians. Turkey. Hatred towards Turkey has recently started to increase, obviously, especially at the present time, and this is not caused by Turkish people who are known to be friendly. But it is caused by the Turkish government that does its best to look civilized and secular while in fact it supports terrorism such as what happens in Syria. Turkey is also hated because of the Armenian genocide that is also referred to as the Armenian Holocaust because of its savagery. The massacre was carried out by the Ottoman authorities and it resulted in the death of 1.5 million people. Although the massacre is widely known, it is still denied by the Turkish government. India. Discrimination is the major problem in this country, and the main reason behind the hatred towards it is the Indians believe in color, race and gender more than any other thing, which discourages many foreign visitors from traveling to this country. Germany. It's no secret that Germany was the instigator for both World War I and World War II. Their activities in the latter was particularly brutal as they employed concentration camps to exterminate more than 2.7 million people, mostly Jews. Fortunately, modern Germany is nothing like its harrowing past. In fact, few people would find negative things to say about the country. Still, its history lingers in the minds of many, especially those with loved ones that were involved in the two world wars. No matter the technology and good a country can provide and do, the past still reflects a country's character, and for many, the past is why they harbor some level of hatred or animosity for said country. Or it could be just general disinterest and hate for their way of life.